Welcome to part 2 of my NFL previews. We're going to move into the AFC East and go to the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are coming off a 7-9 season and look to build upon that success with coach Joe Philbin. The Dolphins will be as good as second-year quarterback Ryan Tannehill is. The second-year QB's growth will determine the outcome of this Dolphin team, who were big spenders in free agency this offseason. We're going to start our preview on the offense, looking at the offensive line. It's a very average offensive line. There's no stars, but at the same time, there's no weak points. The interesting player to look at is Jonathan Martin, the second-round pick out of Stanford last year. Started at right tackle before moving to left tackle for the last few games of the season once Jake Long had season-ending shoulder surgery. With Long now in St. Louis, Martin will look to improve on his improved play at the second half of the season. Now, the first big signing the Dolphins made was signing former Steelers wide receiver Mike Wallace. Wallace is an extreme deep threat down the field. It'll be interesting to see if Tannehill is able to use his speed and create a few big gains. Across from Wallace is the incumbent starter, Brian Hartline, who had 1,000 yards last year, but just one touchdown. Be interesting to see if he's a good wide receiver on a good team or just a good wide receiver on a bad team. Moving to tight end, where the Dolphins were devastated with the news that Dustin Keller, their free agent signing, blew out his knee, tearing his ACL, MCL, PCL, and dislocating the knee on a nasty little hit from DJ Swearinger. That means that the Dolphins' tight end position is up for a camp battle for the last 2 weeks of the preseason, with Charles Clay taking on Michael Ngu. It's a certain downgrade from Dustin Keller's athleticism. Moving to running back, where the Dolphins seem to be heading towards Lamar Miller getting the start over former second-round pick Daniel Thomas, while fourth-round pick Mike Gillislee is expected to get a few carries in there too. They all are trying to replace Reggie Bush, who left in free agency for Detroit. Don't have high expectations for any Dolphins running back. They'll be lucky to get over 4 yards a carry behind that average line. Moving to the defense, where the Dolphins also made their share of signings, signing two free agent linebackers in Darnell Ellerbe from the Ravens and Philip Wheeler from the Raiders. Now, neither player is an elite player, but they are good starters who will be improvements over what they had last season. The best player on the Dolphins defense is Cam Wake, the former BC Lion, is one of the best pass rushers in the league, and that will make up for a lot of deficiencies on the rest of the defense. The interesting player to watch on this defense is third overall pick Dion Jordan. It's going to be interesting to see how many snaps he gets. Will he be playing on first and second down, or will he just be a pass rush specialist on third down? Defensive tackle, they have a decent rotation with Randy Starks, Paul Solali, and Udrich. But again, those are just average run-of-your-mill starters. There isn't a star there that is a real difference maker. We move to the defensive backs, where the Dolphins are taking a gamble on a one-year prove-it contract with Brent Grimes. Brent Grimes was a Pro Bowl corner in Atlanta before injuries cost him all of last season. Across from him is Richard Marshall, who once said he was one of the best corners in the NFL and deserved to be paid like Darrelle Revis. Now, safety, they have one extremely interesting player, which will be Rashad Jones, who will be a future All-Pro. You can bet on that one. But again, that's two stars on a defense with a bunch of good stars, but not great. They have average team written all over them. We move to special teams, where punter Brandon Fields is improving, but far from elite again. Kicker Caleb Sturgis comes in from Florida. The rookie, you never really know you're going to get out of these rookie kickers. Some will be great, some will bust out extremely fast. Well, returning Marcus Thigpen, the former CFLer, is an explosive returner, and he can take the ball to the end zone just about every time he touches the ball. Unfortunately for the Dolphins, they're a very average team, and I expect them to go 6-10.